Yum ba ba bum ba bum bum bum, yum ba ba bum 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 bum, yum ba ba bum ba ba bum bum, ya ba ba bum 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 ba, yum ba ba bum ba ba bum bum bum, yum ba ba bum ba ba bum bum bum, yum ba ba bum ba ba bum bum, ya ba ba bum bum bum, ya ba 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 ba, ya ba 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 ba, ya ba 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 ba, ha ha, yum bum ba 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 bum. Yum ba ba bum 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 bum, yum ba ba bum 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 bum, yum ba ba bum 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 bum, yum ba ba bum 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 bum, yum ba ba bum 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 bum, yum ba ba bum 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 bum, oy 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 oy, yum ba ba ba, yum ba ba bum 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 bum, yum ba ba bum 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 bum, yum ba ba bum 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 bum, yum ba ba bum bum bum, yum ba ba bum bum bum.
Mr. Goldman!
Huh?
Mr. Goldman, how can you be so cheerful on such a day?
You know me, I like music. When it's slow in the store, I play. So, Mrs. Ginsburg, how are you?
The question is, how are you?
Fine, thank you. But why shouldn't I be?
Well, you certainly are taking the news rather well.
What news?
Oh, so that explains it. You still don't know.
No, but I bet you're going to tell me.
It's the health food shop on the corner. They're moving.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Is that all you have to say? Last month, the bakery became an Indian restaurant, and a few months before that, the donut shop was turned into a pizza parlor.
Well, what can you do? You know what they say, variety is the spice of life.
But doesn't all the change frighten you? What's happening to our old neighborhood?
Look, the perfect gift has been here for over 30 years. I've seen businesses come and go, but I never worry, and you know why? My merchandise never goes out of style. You know my motto, a bar mitzvah or a wedding or maybe just a lift, you always find it at the perfect gift. So, tell me, did you just come by to brighten my day, or can I help you with something?
Well, of course I came to buy something. I rushed over here thinking, God forbid, you were moving too.
No. So, what can I do for you?
I need a housewarming present. My cousin Sadie's oldest daughter just built a new home in the suburbs. I understand it's very modern. Even for her, the old neighborhood wasn't good enough.
Don't worry, I have the perfect gift. And these words which I command you this day, you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Deuteronomy.
Of course, a mezuzah. Well, I don't know. Do people still bother with such things?
Well, if they don't, they should. In the first place, it's a beautiful thing to have. Each mezuzah has a small scroll of parchment containing the 2 paragraphs of the Shema, including, Hear, O Israel, our Lord is God, our Lord is one. And you see on the front of the mezuzah, usually it has 3 Hebrew letters, Shin Dalet Yud, which stands for Shaddai, which is another name for the Almighty. You know, our rituals, our mitzvahs are important. They give us a sense of who we are, how we got here, where we should be going. It's the one constant in a crazy, changing world.
You don't have to give me the hard sell. I'm one of your best customers.
You know, the word mezuzah actually means doorpost. It is the one symbol which tells the rest of the outside world, this is a Jewish home. I'll show you something. Here is one, beautiful one from North Africa. Don't even think of buying it. Now, which one of these do you like?
Oh, who can choose? They're all so beautiful. I don't know what to do. What if someone has already given her a mezuzah?
Someone else may think of the same brilliant idea, but believe me, your gift won't be wasted. A mezuzah should be attached to every entrance of every room. I'm sure there'll be plenty of walls.
You always know the perfect gift.
That's why I'm still here.
I'll take That one.
Good. A very good choice. And, oh, for the new homeowners, I'm including this. No extra charge.
Oh. I'm sorry, but without my glasses, I'm as blind as a bat. What is it?
It's a guide, how to attach the mezuzah. It explains. See, here's the blessing which is recited before the mezuzah is actually attached to the doorpost. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu likbor mezuzah. Blessed art thou, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with your commandments and commanded us to affix a mezuzah. Then it tells you exactly how to hang it.
Well, on the right side, of course.
Well, it's a little more specific than that. Here, in its case, the mezuzah is nailed, screwed, or glued to the right side of the door as one enters a room or house. It is positioned at the upper third of the doorpost, and if the doorpost is unusually wide, the mezuzah should be placed no more than 3 3/4 inches from the outside. Remember to angle the mezuzah with the upper part slanted inwards toward the house or room. A mezuzah may be attached vertically if the doorpost is too narrow.
Say no more, Mr. Goldman. Wrap it up.
This the perfect gift?
That's what the sign says. You got the packages I've been waiting for?
Well, I don't know what you've been waiting for, but I got some boxes for this address. Sign here, please.
Nah, not so fast, young man. Last time I signed without looking at my merchandise, we had one heck of a time. Can you imagine they got my shop confused with a baby store in Paramus, New Jersey? I had 6 dozen teddy bears sitting in the back room.
Oh, I don't blame you. You've got to check everything these days. But look, you're busy right now, and I have some other errands to run. Would you mind if I stop back later for the mezuzah?
Oh, certainly not. When you come back, it'll all be wrapped and waiting.
Now, Sonny, there's a man who really knows how to run a business.
Ay, what a character. 23, 24, 25. Everything's in perfect order. Now I'll sign.
You know, I am ashamed to admit this. I'm Jewish, and I don't even know what you've got here.
What? So it's never too late to ask.
For instance, these.
Oh, these are called memorial candles, or yortzeit candles. Each year on the Hebrew anniversary of a loved one's death, one lights a candle that burns all day and night. During the actual week of mourning, a candle must burn continually.
Nothing personal, but isn't it kind of weird for a gift shop to carry memorial candles?
Well, I suppose it's a bit out of the ordinary, but my customers depend on me, and after all, I'm here to serve the Jewish home. Unfortunately, death is a fact of life. Interesting still that you should ask such a question. You know, the Yortzeit Day is an especially good time for performing acts of kindness. Perhaps you could say the burning of the candle has a second purpose. It reminds us that life is forgiving, and if that's the case, what better place could there be than a gift shop? So, any other questions?
I know these are worn in the synagogue.
Right, a prayer shawl, in Hebrew talit.
But why all the fringe?
These fringes give the talit its religious significance. Oddly enough, you remember, people used to tie a knot in their handkerchief when they wanted to remember something important. Well, God commanded us to put tzitzit with knots in the corners of our garments so we would remember to fulfill the commandments. Men traditionally wear the talit during morning services and for Kol Nidre, that's the evening before Yom Kippur.
You sure got a lot of styles here to choose from. Please, don't tell me there's a designer look for praying.
Everybody has his own taste. Some like colorful and some like plain, but that's not important. It's the 4 corners that count. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu litateiv b'tzitzit. Blessed art thou, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and commanded us to wrap ourselves in the tzitzit.
So, what's the story with these?
These are tefillin. You might call them prayer boxes. There's a fancy name in English, too. It's called phylacteries. Now, let me show you. This one is worn on the hand, and this one is worn on the head. Now, all males 13 and older are required to wear them at the morning service on weekdays. I sell a lot of these to boys who are approaching their bar mitzvah.
Obviously, there's something holy inside, right?
Now you're beginning to sound like a real student of Torah. There is a small scroll of parchment inside here, see? A scribe, a trained scribe, handwrites these. There are 4 different segments of Torah on this parchment.
4 inside each of the tiny boxes? Mm-hmm. I'm impressed. How do you remember all these rules?
After so many years, I could recite in my sleep. But when I was a young boy, oh, Gewalt, each time I put on tefillin, that was a major event.
So why bother? I mean, once you've said the prayers, isn't that enough?
No. You see, tefillin is viewed as part of a religious uniform. To pray on a weekday morning without it would be a sign of disrespect. I ask you, would a private approach his commanding officer in bare feet?
Okay, you made your point. So, how do they work?
Hold on. I'll show you. Take off your jacket.
Okay.
Now, the hand tefillin is put on first. And it's put on the weaker arm. What, are you right-handed?
Yeah.
All right, then it's put on the left arm. All right. There you are. And roll up your sleeves very carefully, because this must touch only the bare skin. All right, and it's put on this side facing the heart. All right. Now, and you say, Baruch.
I say
Baruch.
Baruch.
Ata.
Ata.
Adonai.
Adonai.
Eloheinu.
Eloheinu.
Melech.
Melech.
Haolam.
Haolam.
Asher.
Asher.
Kidshanu.
Kidshanu.
B'mitzvotav.
B'mitzvotav.
Vetzivanu.
Tzivanu.
Lehaniach.
Lehaniach.
Tfilin.
Tefillin.
Then you wind it around the forearm 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, now hold on to this.
All right.
And we will put on the tefillin, the head tefillin. And this will go so. All right, it should be placed high on the forehead.
Okay.
Above the forehead. Here we are. All right, we'll put on the hat like this. It can be done this way. Put these in front.
How do I look?
Very good. You say, Baruch,
Baruch.
Ata,
Ata.
Adonai,
Adonai.
Eloheinu,
Eloheinu.
Melech,
Melech.
Haolam,
Haolam.
Asher,
Asher.
Kidshanu,
Kidshanu.
B'mitzvotav,
B'mitzvotav.
Vetzivanu,
Tzivanu.
Al,
Al.
Mitzvat,
Mitzvat.
Tfilin.
Tefillin.
Blessed art thou, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and commanded us concerning the mitzvah of tefillin.
An awful lot.
Then you add, Baruch,
Baruch.
Shem,
Shem.
Kevod,
Kevod.
Malchuto,
Malchuto.
Leolam,
Leolam.
Va'ed.
Va'ed.
Blessed be he whose glorious majesty is forever and ever.
An awful lot to remember.
Wait, we're not quite done. Now, the strap around the palm is wound 3 times around the middle finger.
Okay. Then what?
Around the palm. There. Hold on to this.
Okay.
There. I will betroth you to myself forever. I will betroth you to myself in righteousness and in justice, in kindness and in mercy. I will betroth you to myself in faithfulness, and you shall know the Lord.
It seems so involved.
No, it's only because it's unfamiliar. I can guarantee you that with practice, there's nothing to it. Now we have to say the Shema. Shema,
Shema.
Yisrael,
Israel.
Adonai,
Adonai.
Eloheinu,
Eloheinu.
Adonai,
Adonai.
Echad.
Echad.
That's it. Good.
Thanks.
No. First, you have to take it off in the reverse order in which you put it on. First, you do
This comes off?
Yes.
All right. Oh, that's my beeper, Mr. Goldman.
What?
I'm being beeped. I gotta go back.
Which even delivery boys get paged these days?
Yeah.
I apologize. No, here, first take off the... I'm sorry I kept you so long.
So I wish I had more time.
Well, you can always come back.
Great. Tomorrow's my day off. Oh, you know, next week is my parents' anniversary. You have any suggestions for gift for them?
What a question. I always have the perfect gift. Now, go.
Thanks.
Go to work.
Hi, Mr. Goldman.
Ah, look who it is, the bride-to-be. Just 9 more days.
Did my ketubah arrive?
Yes, indeed. Look, here it is. And the calligrapher did a magnificent job.
It's absolutely exquisite.
It is rather beautiful, but even more important, do you know what it means?
Oh, sure. The ketubah is the Jewish marriage contract. It's an old tradition.
Oh, more than a tradition, my dear. According to a Jewish law, every bride must be given a ketubah. The practice originated at the time of the Babylonian exile to protect the rights of all married women. The text dates back to the 2nd century BCE, and it's written in Aramaic.
Mr. Goldman, you're incredible. You know everything about everything.
Well, all Jewish brides should know what is rightfully theirs. This contract assures a woman that her husband will take care of her. God forbid a husband dies or divorces the wife. The ketubah protects the woman so she won't be left stranded without financial support.
So that's what all this fancy lettering means. I can't imagine anyone would have the patience to make each tiny mark look so perfect.
Well, Sherry, for a wedding, everything should be perfect, and everything should be under a healthy sign. A healthy sign, there is the song that we sing. A cement of a muzzle tov, a muzzle tov, a cement of a muzzle tov, a muzzle tov, a cement of a muzzle tov, a cement of Yehelanu. Cement of a muzzle tov, a muzzle tov, a cement of a muzzle tov, a muzzle tov, a cement of a muzzle tov, a cement of Yehelanu. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, lechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, lechol Yisrael. Cement of a muzzle tov, a muzzle tov, a cement of a muzzle tov, a muzzle tov, a cement of a muzzle tov, a muzzle tov, a cement of Yehelanu.
I wish it was as easy as singing a song. Whether I'm awake or asleep, my head is spinning with wedding arrangements. I almost forgot. My mother wanted me to remind you about the yarmulkes. Did you order enough?
Young lady, would I forget the kippot? They'll be here in plenty of time. Follow me.
I wonder if it's difficult to crochet a kippah. I would love to surprise Josh with one.
Incidentally, do you know why we Jews cover our heads?
Oh, that's obvious. Wearing a kippah is the way man shows respect for God.
Yes, indeed, but why should covering your head be thought of as a sign of respect? Other people take off their hats for the same reason. Well, some say that in Roman times, servants covered their heads. Well, Jews chose to cover their heads whenever in a religious sanctuary to signify that they thought of themselves as servants of the Lord. Covering their heads represents bowing before God above. Now, eventually, the practice of wearing skull caps was extended to walking in the outdoors, and in modern times there have been many debates about bare or covered heads, but many Jews today prefer to wear a kippah, no matter where they are. It's a symbol of Jewish identity. Like the commercial says, don't leave home without it.
Oh, Mr. Goldman.
Well, I finally got a smile out of you. I was worried you had forgotten how.
I'm sorry. It's just this wedding. I don't know whether I'm coming or going.
Well, perfectly understandable. But I do hope you've given some thought to your new home. Perhaps you need a pair of Shabbos candlesticks or a challah cover.
Thanks, but I'm pretty well set. I can thank Mom for that. Can you believe it? She even thought to pack me a new tzedakah box. Well, maybe she got it here. It looks just like that one.
Yep, just last week.
In our house, we're always putting money in the charity box. Mom says you can never give enough.
Did you know that the word tzedakah, which we translate as charity, really means righteousness? Tzaddik, a righteous person. Tzedek, justice. Tzedakah, charity. All from the same root.
There you go again with all those explanations. I don't know how you do it.
Thought you'd never ask. I'll show you. Here, books, and more books. Every Jewish home needs a well-stocked library. Now, first, of course, here we have the holiest of our books, the Torah. Then there are Nevi'im and Ketuvim. Nevi'im are the prophets like Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, and contained in Ketuvim, the writings, are Proverbs, Song of Songs, and the 5 scrolls, the Megillot.
Like Esther that we read on Purim and Ruth on Shavuot.
Yes, and don't forget Song of Songs at Passover, Ecclesiastes on Sukkot, and Lamentations on Tisha B'Av, the day that recalls the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem. Now these are the prayer books. The Siddur is used for everyday prayer and Shabbat, and the Machzor is used for the high holidays, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Jews have always shown great respect for books. From the moment Jewish children are introduced to religious texts, they are taught to revere the knowledge and the traditions in them.
But these books look a little newer than the others.
These? Oh, well, there are many contemporary resource books. There are books about anything, Jewish holidays, catalogs, travel in Israel, rituals, you name it, they've got it. They even explain to you how to start your own library. Incidentally, we have lots of children's books, and they might come in handy.
Hold on, let's just get through the wedding first.
Don't be such a nervous Nellie. I know what you need. You need a good book to tickle your funny bone. I even have that. Let's see. History, Jewish ceremonies, rituals, great Jewish leaders, poetry. Here, Shalom Aleichem, the creator of Tevye the milkman. Not everything has to be somber. You can learn a lot from Jewish humor, too.
Thanks. Maybe in a couple of months I'd have the luxury to enjoy it. But right now I don't even have enough time for sleep.
Isn't there anything you might like?
To tell you the truth, I do have my eye on something.
Well?
It's beautiful. Look, it plays a melody.
Yes, indeed. Ma'oz tzur yeshuati lecha na'eh leshabeach tikon betefilati v'sham toda nezabeach letachin madbeach nitzor hamnabeach az egmor b'shir mizmor Chanukat HaMizbeach.
That was lovely. The problem is, Josh already has a menorah that it's been in the family for 5 generations.
Oh, but you can light more than one. In fact, it's better. Each member of the family can have his or her own Chanukiah. Chanukiah, that's the official name. It has room for 8 candles, that is, 1 for each of the 8 days of Hanukkah, and 1 for the shamash to light the other candles.
In our house, all of the kids have their own little Hanukkah. My little brother used to yell out just before the blessing, "Don't forget, you light it from left to the right." And it would sound so beautiful when we sang the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel haChanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lahavotenu bayamim hahem ba'azman hazeh.
Blessed art thou, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us and commanded us to kindle the Hanukkah light. Blessed art thou, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has performed miracles for our forefathers in those days at this time.
So, shall I wrap it up?
What?
The menorah. You want it, don't you?
I really do. But Josh and I are still students. We have to save every penny. Maybe in a couple of years.
Don't feel bad. Most young couples start out on a tight budget. It's just like the story of Shmuel the tailor. Did you ever hear that one?
I don't think so.
Well, Shmuel the tailor came to America with his young wife. They were both from a small village in Russia, had very little. Of course, neither knew how to read or write, but once in New York, Shmuel opened a clothing shop, and good fortune smiled on him. Eventually went to a bank to open up a checking account. Naturally, not knowing how to write his name, he put 2 X's where it said signature. Well, time passed, and Shmuel and his wife prospered even more. He sold a clothing shop to open a business that manufactured textiles. Again, he went back to the bank and opened another account. But this time, he signed all the papers with 3 X's. Now, the bank president was puzzled, and he asked Shmuel, why 3? You always signed 2 X's in the past. You know how it is, he said. Suddenly, you have a little money in your pocket, and everybody wants you to be fancy schmancy. My wife said that I should take a middle name.
That's cute. I hope it won't be long before Josh and I can make 3 X's.
Oh, what am I to do with you? I told you the story for you to laugh.
I know. I know I'm a hopeless case.
Well, go home and relax a little. And don't forget your beautiful ketubah. I'll just slip it back into the wrapper. And don't worry, your mother paid for it weeks ago.
Thanks, Mr. Goldman. I gotta go. Hi, Mrs. Ginsburg.
Oh, Sherry,
I've gotta go. Sorry.
Oh, such a pretty girl. You're still humming that song.
Well, it's a catchy tune. Besides, I haven't had a moment since you left.
So my mezuzah's not ready yet?
Of course it's ready. She wrapped it in the back. Here it is.
Aye, Mr. Goldman, you should stay in business at least 120 years.
From your mouth into God's ears.
Listen, when I ran into that pretty Sherry Ziegelbaum just now, I remembered I need another present. It's for her wedding. But God only knows what young people want today.
Mrs. Ginsberg, don't worry. I have just the thing. ליתוכי מבח, מצור המנבח, אז אגמור בשיר מזמור, חנוכת המזבח. You can rely on me, always to know the perfect gift.
של שושנים נצאנה אל הבוסתן מור בסמים ולבונה לרגלך מפתן ערב של שושנים נצאנה אל הבוסתן מור בסמים ולבונה לרגלך מפתן לילה יורד לאט ורוח שושן נושבה הווה אל חשלך שיר בלט זמר של אהבה לילה יורד לאט ורוח שושן נושבה הווה אל חשלך שיר בלט זמר של אהבה